Olá galera, tudo bem? Passado ontem, nem lembro. Ah, vejo. Vou fazer 10, 11. Hoje vai ser bem rápido. Hoje eu acho que eu vou dividir uma hora. Aqui. Iniciar. Vida do...
At your service. Let's see what we have.
Opa, tá.
Is Knight Captain Ryland satisfied with his post?
It's not an easy assignment, but if anyone can handle the approach, it's him. To work? We have to reach the Empress before Corythius. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
Velho. O Gaspar.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celine's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celine outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
Cavaleiros.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only, she has organized the elves of Halam Shiral into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briella is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Wait, the elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress?
It's not widely known. Just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celine's court. Even if a lie, Briella could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
Interesting.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celine is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celine is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Orlais falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
Vamos. Quero pelo menos terminar essa missão, hein? Beleza. Eu vou levar a Vivi. Quase que ela é. Ali. Cara. Bom. Eu não gostei muito dele.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
Inquisitor Adar, it is my great pleasure to meet you. The rumors coming out of the Western Approach say you battled an army of demons. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
Quanto custa esse apoio?
Exactly what would be required to get that Imperial support?
I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. My lady, are you prepared to shock the court by walking into the grand ball with a hateful usurper? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
Belezinha, ajudando.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Duke Aspard. I look forward to ending this civil war.
As do I, my friend. The Empire needs stability and security, now more than ever. If you have the safety of the Orlesian people at heart, Inquisitor, perhaps you will look into something for me. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
Darei jeito mesmo.
If they're siding with the enemy, I'll put an end to it.
Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
An ox? Impossible.
That's not the Inquisitor. It's just somebody's pet.
Belezinha. Muito duro pra cu.
Oh, wait there. Whatever your name is, have you seen a ring? It is very important, and I need it back. It was a gift from the Countess Montbelliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
Is this ring particularly valuable?
Its worth in coin is not as important as its social value. It was a gift from a member of the Council of Heralds. If she finds out I lost it, she will never forgive me. Not even if I live to be 1,000 years old.
That's a terrible predicament.
If the Comtesse finds out, make her have mercy. Should you happen upon it, I beg you, let me know. Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Look.
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure! I cannot believe you found it! You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I thank you enough? Where could it be?
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valoyaux.
Is that the Inquisitor?
Sure.
If nothing else, the Inquisition backing Gaspard will make Celine nervous.
Ai,
Where has that servant gone? Elves. Always shirking. Where has that servant gone? Elves. Always shirking their duties.
Foreigners.
Interesting.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fade by Andraste?
Vamos.
been too long since I've had any word from Valois. We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us.
Ah.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'll keep my guard up, don't worry.
The game is like Wicked Grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer in the Fade with the Fear Demon.
It might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. Especially Sarah. Maybe tell her twice.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
Esta. Vamos. Assim. Provavelmente.
I can hardly believe Gaspard and Celine are in the same room.
Grand Duchess Florian must have worked a miracle to get them here.
Need to have this jacket let out a little.
Gaspard never struck me as pious. You must think he gains military advantage with the Inquisition.
I had hoped to tour the Royal Wing Gardens again.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire. It's such a pity the wing is sealed. How could the Empress afford to renovate the palace with a war going on?
I heard that it wasn't renovations at all. The palace was damaged by Gaspard's catapult.
He fired on the Winter Palace? That's monstrous.
What is Gaspard up to?
I heard the Grand Duke invited the Inquisition here.
Well, that's useful.
Também, galera.
I wish there was more news coming from the convent.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lady Inquisitor Adar. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the mage underground.
He is so full of it. That's not how it went.
Champion of the blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Madame Vivienne, first Enchanter of the Circle of Magi, Enchanter of the Imperial Court, Mistress of the Duke of Ghislaine. Her Ladyship, my bulls each, of course. Sir Callum Stanton Rutherford of Honleith, Commander of the Forces of the Inquisition, former Knight Commander of Kirkwall. Lady Liliana, Nightingale of the Imperial Court, Veteran of the Fifth Blight, Seneschal of the Inquisition, and Left Hand of the Divine. And Lady Josephine Charette Montillier of Antiva City, Ambassador of the Inquisition.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lady Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
Ela é traidora, amiga da Rainha. Deixa. Vou ser direto. Reforma.
I'm delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time to take in some of its beauties. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Evans. Are they in good health? Perfectly happy in the studio. Mother is the same as always. Meaning she's after you to do more.
always take her side.
I don't take her side. I happen to think, as she does.
Can you believe the Inquisition filled its ranks with apostates?
You just know that will end badly.
What were they doing in the western
You
part
are
of the
Josephine at all?
wasteland?
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this her?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? Rebel mages in Redcliffe were performing blood rites and orgies before you stopped them.
Where did you hear such nonsense?
Everyone in Antiva says so. Is it true?
Those stories are little more than wistful thinking, my lady.
Oh, how dull Redcliffe must have been then.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
She would forget to mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors. You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's bits.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of.
The dancing is so dull, Your Worship, but the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Cafe Royal must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh, yes. As she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette.
Stop. Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette. That's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Is that her?
The only one to survive the Temple of Sacred Ashes, yes.
Crotchruff beats his squire. He's a she. As a bastard. Extra toes. What a fun, close marrying crowd.
Making any new friends?
Not likely. I'm watching them watch you. They're all glances and titters. Not sure if they're allowed to like you yet. Pathetic.
Any thoughts on who we're investigating?
The Empress is pretty. It'd be fun to drink and kill stuff with Gaspard. Briala is friggin' funny. Elves, elves, elves. But it's really a pissing match with an old lover. Don't know the rest, but that explains a lot. They're all lying, but Celine's nice to look at. Good thing we're here to save her neck.
Uma dica de seus amigos?
Any hidden treasures from friends of your little network?
You mean, do any of the servants ferrying tarts between these windy tits hate them enough to give up a stash or two? I'm not saying yes, but wait, yes I am. There's some good stuff hidden around. An eye.
Back soon.
Not going anywhere.
Continue.
Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the Danes?
I've an idea, Josephine. You should invite all the
Are you married?
Maker, I hope not.
Married to my work.
Still single?
Inquisitor, did you need something? The sooner we track down this infiltrator, the better.
Do you have any advice?
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are a few here we can trust. Be careful.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
Gaspard's claim to the throne is fair. Orlais needs someone capable of responding to the crisis at hand. A military-minded leader seems the best option.
You've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know, but they won't leave me alone.
I take it you're not enjoying yourself.
At this point, the headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
Nothing that stands out. I doubt there's a single person here without ulterior motives.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
Laurent was the love of my life. Remember? Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor. And here we are. You haven't embarrassed yourself as much as I feared. Well done, my dear.
I've always wondered, what's the Orlesian fascination with masks?
We all wear masks, my dear, not just the people in Orlais. Who you are as a daughter, a lover, a friend, are very different people from the Inquisitor and Herald of Andraste. Orlesians codify this truth, make it visible. By giving each of these selves its own separate face, they believe they can be their truest selves, unmasked.
Anything happening I should know?
Strange that I haven't seen much of Grand Duchess Florian. One could always find her clinging desperately to the Empress's skirts before.
It seems like you enjoy this, Vivian.
This is the game, Inquisitor. Of course I enjoy it. If I didn't, I'd be dead by now.
Any words of wisdom for navigating the ballroom?
Speak to the Council of Heralds. 6 of them are here tonight. The 7th member of the Council is indisposed. His absence will complicate the negotiations. The Council are the highest-ranking players of the game. They see everything. They might know something we can use.
Tell me, Vivian, Where do you want the crown to fall?
What I want is irrelevant, darling. Orlais requires stability, and that is best served by Empress Celine.
Be ready to act when I give the signal.
Always, my dear.
I still remember the day they came to tell me that my second husband... Another time, perhaps?
Vai. Droga. Voltar.
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
Morgan? A descrição que a Liliana tá dando é a Morgan. Calma aí, galera.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
It sounds exactly like the person we're looking for.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
Nossa.
Lady Fifi and Lady Babette de Lancet, daughters of the...
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism. Speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can...
When the circles rebelled, technically every mage... She's... But I'll...
We are not serving drinks. Order someone else.
Interesting.
Leave us.
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
Get these pastries out to the diplomats.
The Duchess has asked for too many.
My lady! My lady Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
How can I be certain this message is from the Empress?
We three wear the masks of House Valmont.
They signify that we are public faces of the Empress.
They are also extremely fashionable.
I'm always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in her holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
That's a generous offer.
The Empress believes wholeheartedly that the Inquisition is our best hope for peace in these difficult times.
She looks forward to cementing a formal alliance.
As soon as Gaspard is out of the way.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the Faith by Andraste?
Where's that servant gone? Have you heard from your nephew shirking their
Not since his regiment joined the fighting.
This is a private conversation.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those Maleficarum are causing across the Empire.
Even you cannot deny that the Templars abandoned the faithful in their darkest hour. How can you condone that? They are the ones who should be brought to heel, if you ask me.
Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties. Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valroyo.
Gaspard is wasting his time.
I heard the Inquisition was here. You don't want to be here, stranger.
Interesting.
He hasn't made the pickup. It's been hours.
You went into the servants' wing. Nobody's come out of there all night.
I'll tell Briala we have a situation.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
Awfully selfish of this, Philippe. Running off to play and leaving you with all the work.
I've half a mind to inform the Dowager. That would teach him to shirk his duties to roll some elven maid. Tonight of all nights, leaving me to convey Gaspard's death threats to the Council. Wonderful timing, Philippe. Thank you for listening to me rant. You are too kind, Inquisitor.
I heard the...
Interesting. Boring. I should look around.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. I'm curious.
Gaspard.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life if not fight for his destiny?
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, you've come to the wrong man. It's war. It is brutal, and terrible, and sometimes necessary. There's nothing more to say.
Another time, my lord. Boring.
Does anyone really think the war will end tonight? The Empress says.
I heard the Inquisition. Did you hear what Gaspar said to Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
This way is closed. Please, use the main entrance to the ballroom. I told you this is closed. Use the main doors.
Well, well. What's this?
I am not talking to you until we get home. Fine by me.
Be careful with that tree.
Inquisitor Adar, how delightful. I am Lady Marcelette, court historian to Her Imperial Majesty.
What exactly does a court historian do?
I am responsible for the historical records of the court. I maintain our library and record all official proceedings.
Are you here to chronicle the events of the evening for posterity?
Oh, yes! This is a momentous occasion. The first meeting between the Grand Duke and Her Majesty since the war began. Even if, Maker forbid, the talks should fail, it is an important moment in the history of the Empire.
Good evening, Lady Marcelette.
Another time, perhaps.
The band is still waiting for their refreshments.
Interesting. Just gossip.
We are not serving drinks. Bother someone else.
perceber.
Get back to the ballroom.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Lords now.
He should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Well, well. What have we here?
Morgan.
The leader of the new Inquisition. Fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
I'm here on important business concerning the entire Empire.
As am I, it seems. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I hope so. I could use another ally here.
A sentiment I share, considering recent events.
Recent events?
Recently I found and killed an unwelcome guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celine alone? Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough, for the moment. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
What's your interest in protecting Empress Celine? Are you her bodyguard?
Do I seem a bodyguard to you? If anything were to happen to Celine, eyes would turn first to her occult advisor, even if they knew otherwise. There are sharks in the water, and I will not fall prey to them. Not now, not ever.
Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly, I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
If you truly want answers, help me find them.
I already told you. I must return to protect the Empress. Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
Finish.
That the Inquisitor.
Maker, that wine stain is never coming out.
Revered Mother Lucille of the Chantry of Arlezon, third cousin of Duke Gratien of Arlezon.
Don't worry so much, my dear. I'll be ready when the time comes to strike.
Continue.
Be ready to act when I give the signal.
Always, my dear.
Another time, perhaps?
Mistress Nightingale, what a
Look at Lady Campion's slippers, trimmed with pearls and emeralds, and those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose, and you're concerned about buckles? On shoes?
Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Campion's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambion acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps.
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
What we need most of all is a stable Orlais. Either Celine or Gaspard can give us that.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this, and we might have some leverage in the court. If you find more, let me know.
Have you seen anything interesting?
Oh yes. Halam Shiral is lousy with scandals and scheming. But no sign of our Tevinter infiltrator, I'm afraid.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
Inquisitor, is there something you needed?
We'll talk later.
I'll wait your say.
Why would the Empress invite that elf woman?
The game, of
Inquisitor,
course. Celine
to what
has
do we
something
owe
up her
this
sleeve.
honor?
We will be happy to assist you if we can.
Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
If the evening ends favorably for the Empress, how does the Inquisition benefit?
Her Imperial Majesty brings the might of the Orlesian Empire with her friendship.
She is also a respected diplomat and world leader. She can forge alliances for you with Rivain, Antiva, the Underfels.
And she throws the best parties.
Perhaps you could tell me something then. We haven't been properly introduced.
How rude of us to forget.
Milady Inquisitor, may I present Lady Couteau?
And Lady Colombe.
And of course, Lady Fleur. We are the Empress's ladies-in-waiting.
I'd like to know more about Empress Celine.
Her Majesty has held the throne since she was just 16 years old.
She is respected and beloved, not just in Orlais, but across Thedas.
She doesn't care much for liver, and she drinks her tea black.
That's what
I'd like to know more about the negotiations. It seems strange to hold peace talks during a ball.
Oh, do your people have no customs surrounding great occasions? How sad.
By Orlesian tradition, moments of great solemnity are celebrated with revels and feasts.
While joyous occasions are given time for reflection and contemplation.
We must never forget that life is both bitter and sweet.
The ball is an opportunity to celebrate life and hope for the future, while we mourn those killed in the war.
What can you tell me about the other parties involved in the talks?
Gaspard is a decorated general, much beloved by the Imperial army, and a legend among chevaliers.
He is better suited to the battlefield than the throne, and he would gladly make his palace a war camp.
He's also fiendishly charming.
Lady Briella has great intentions to change the lives of the elves for the better.
Even if her plans could never work and would only provoke hate crimes against alienages.
She is an idealist, but her lack of patience could prove disastrous.
What is the Empress trying to accomplish with the negotiations?
Peace is her only objective, Inquisitor.
Gaspard and Briella are driven by personal ambitions, but those desires threaten the safety of all Orlesians.
The war must end tonight. We must conclude this to deal with the large crisis.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns the Grand Duke. He's made a lot of threats to the Council of Heralds.
The Grand Duke is all talk, Inquisitor.
Very loud talk, accompanied by swords.
He has never had any skill at the game.
My investigations turned up something interesting. Concerns Ambassador Briella. She killed ambassadors from both Celine and Gaspard and forged documents to both sides.
How despicable.
After the Empress extended her hospitality?
She's better at the game than we thought.
Her people have infiltrated every part of Winter Palace.
This is extremely alarming, Inquisitor.
She could be spying on our every word.
How exciting!
My investigations turned up something interesting. Good evening.
Until next time, Inquisitor.
Do take care.
Enjoy the masquerade!
Did you see Gaspard dance?
Inquisitor.
He and Celine aren't
Hello.
getting anywhere. It's odd.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Look like negotiations are going well.
Inquisitor? I don't think the court knows what to make of this Inquisitor.
Do we?
Did you see Gaspard dance?
He and Celine aren't getting anywhere. It's obvious.
Is this it? Just looking at each other and what? I'm waiting for the party to start.
Back soon.
Not going anywhere.
Who was that Inquisition officer over there? You'll never get to talk to him. He wouldn't even dance.
Has anyone seen Lucien? He was supposed to help the servers in the ballroom almost an hour ago.
Maximilian swept me off my feet. It was such a scandal. A fourth... marriage to an almost my age.
Nightingale, what a pleasure to see you again. You
Did you see Gaspard dance?
He and Celine aren't getting anywhere. It's obvious.
Inquisitor Adar. The stories claimed you were barely capable of speech. You haven't dazzled the court this evening, but at least you've avoided embarrassing yourself. Well done. What brings you to me?
I want to know more about the peace talks. What can you tell me about Celine and Gaspard?
Gaspard is a warmonger. He served in the war against Ferelden and fought a dozen skirmishes on the Navarran border. He's a simple man. Simple men aren't hard to manipulate. Celine is the voice of reason in the Empire. But reason is cautious. Reason looks for compromise. Reason doesn't choose radical change, however sorely it may be needed.
I had a question about you, Briala.
I'm an elf, Inquisitor. That should tell you everything you need to know about my life. I'm good at what I do. And so that matters. I will help my people no matter the cost.
I've been told you were romantically involved with the Empress.
I didn't take you for a gossip monger, Inquisitor. I suppose your spies have already briefed you, so there's no point in pretending. Yes, Celine and I were lovers once, but we've gone our separate ways now.
What's your story? How is an elf invited to the Empress's ball as an ambassador?
Empress Celine and I have... There was a time when I put my spies at her disposal. She knows my qualifications. We had a falling out. Now we are negotiating to determine whether I return to her side in the war.
What do you mean, we had a falling out?
She betrayed me.
turned me over to the guards on a trumped-up charge to save her political reputation. It wasn't personal. It's the game. That's how all Orlesians justify these things to themselves. It wouldn't do to let the court know she had an elven friend.
If she doesn't win you back to her side, what do you intend to do?
I have contingency plans. I'm not a child putting all my hopes on a single ball. This evening gives me access to Duke Gaspard. He's challenging. Not as progressive or persuadable as his cousin. But with time and sufficient blackmail, he might work with us.
I'm surprised you'd admit that, considering the circumstances.
I know it's incriminating. Few harbor more resentment against Celine than I. But if she died after inviting me here, the court would certainly pin her death on me. An elf assassinating the Empress? Alienages across Orlais, across all Thedas, would be purged. That cannot happen.
You might be interested in what I've found. It's about Gaspard. He's been threatening the nobles on the Council of Heralds.
Typical. Gaspard's always been a bully, regardless of the Chevalier Code.
He's been threatening the nobles on the Council of Heralds.
Typical. Gaspard's always been a bully, regardless of the Chevalier Code.
You might be interested in what I've found. It's about you, actually. You murdered negotiators and stole their documents.
In Orlesian politics, Inquisitor, murder and intrigue barely count as crime. If that shocked you, wait until Celine shows her hand.
I found the drop point, Briala. I know your people are hidden all over the palace.
Of course they are. I'd be a poor spy master if I didn't have spies, Inquisitor.
We'll speak more later, Ambassador.
Another time, Inquisitor.
My friend, come in, have a drink. What can I do for you? If you're as delighted by the court as I am, there's a decanter of port around here.
I have a question about the peace talks.
Bem,
You didn't extend this invitation out of the goodness of your heart, Grand Duke.
As you might have guessed, I'm not the most political man. If the nobles believe the Inquisition supports me, it will help in negotiations. And I take joy in watching the scandalized expressions when they see us together.
What can you tell me about Celine and Briala?
Brianna may be called ambassador, but she is purely a spy. She works towards some hidden agenda. Elves have no place in politics. Her presence here is suspicious. Celine is a skilled player in the game. She knows how to get her way with a few words and a smile. But the game is a farce. I will prove that a few hundred chevaliers are better than diplomacy.
What will be going on in these negotiations?
We will whittle one another down with words until we are bored into agreement. Celine will talk circles around us, that elf will glower and cast suspicion everywhere, and I will get very drunk. Somehow, by the time they stop serving drinks, our war will be ended. Politics, my friend.
Não parece muito.
I get the distinct impression that you don't enjoy politics, Duke Gaspard.
In Orlais, they call it the Great Game. They believe it is something you can play and win. But there are no winners. Like dogs playing wicked grace, it is a mockery of action. Give me a battlefield, Inquisitor. I will show you who the victors are. When I am Emperor, there will be changes. No more of this courtier's nonsense. The nobles may not like it, but after a few lose their heads, they'll fall in line.
I have a question about the peace talks. What are you hoping to achieve at the negotiations?
I intend to take back what is rightfully mine. Celine stole the crown through politicking. But I am the rightful Emperor of Orlais. The Empire has been mired in intrigue for too long. We need a clear course of action.
What action did you have in mind?
The Empire is declining. We cannot allow Nevarra and Ferelden to chip away our borders. I will see Orlais return to glory as the strongest nation in Thedas.
You say you hate politics, but you're here to negotiate.
I can play the game when I must. If I couldn't, I'd be dead by now, Inquisitor. But it is not my choice. Celine has my sister involved in this mess. I would prefer to settle this on the battlefield. But for Florian, I will sit and talk.
I discovered something you might be interested in. It's about you, in fact. Want to tell me why you were threatening the members of the Council of Heralds?
The language of politics, Inquisitor. If you cannot bribe politicians, you threaten them into backing down. Most of the Council are Celine's lapdogs. There was little chance I could win their support any other way.
I discovered something you might be interested in. It's about Briala. She's got people hidden among the servants all over the palace.
I suspected as much, but couldn't confirm it. She's a difficult adversary to predict. There's no telling what move
Então
she
vou
intends to make.
um X9 pra todo mundo.
She's killed ambassadors and changed their documents.
You can prove this? Now that is interesting. What is she trying to accomplish? She bears closer watching than I thought.
We'll speak later, Duke Gaspard.
Another time, friend.
Nova Fox. Espera aqui.
Where has that servant
Commander,
gone?
has anyone ever told you that you have the most remarkable eyes?
Até
My dear Maximilian, it took 4 chevaliers.
Uhum.
worth checking out.
Caught in the middle of this crap. What fully qualified arsehole stops to kill a cook?
They always kill the servants first, my dear. Otherwise they could run and warn someone.
Oh sure, reasonable, innit? Friggin' garbage.
Must be the elves Briala's people are looking for.
Whoever did this ought to be down here somewhere.
This was no servant. What was he doing here?
This man was a Council of Herald's emissary. Curious to find him here.
Is that Gaspard's family crest on the hilt of that dagger? Time to have a word with the Duke.
No! No!
Of course.
Venatori agents! That must be the Venatori agents. The Venatori were watching this approach. They're organized.
Grande.
To battle!
Fancy meeting you here. Shouldn't you be dancing, Inquisitor? What will the nobility say?
Ambassador, we meet again.
Your reputation for getting results is well deserved. You cleaned this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
He was dead when I arrived.
I expected as much. You may have arrived with the Grand Duke, but you don't seem to be doing his dirty work. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a council emissary? Bringing assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
The Empress needs to know what's going on.
You can try to warn her. She won't believe anything from me. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
I would consider such an alliance.
We can help each other, Inquisitor. We are both outsiders here, after all. I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
Forte.
We're in your debt, Inquisitor.
Head back to the ballroom. We'll handle this.
Leave us.
I should look around. I had no idea.
Gaspar is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the
That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Threatening to burn them all in their homes.
I need more servers in the ballroom. Where is everybody?
Waste of time. Third bell. Crap. Oh, I'm just playing late. Yes? Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
Another time, my lord. Just gossip.
Did you hear what Gaspar said? Germain, his own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked Taché roaming about?
Good evening, Inquisitor.
Interesting.
Is it true what they say? You're the Inquisitor, are you not? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
Some of those might have gone a bit far.
I told you, Philippe.
Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell. It's an inspiration.
I'm curious. What did you hear about the fight with the archdemon?
They say the army of the Inquisition fought a desperate stand at Haven against the forces of an old god. In the thick of battle, you crossed swords with evil itself. The enemy had you outnumbered and cornered, and you cast down a mountain upon the archdemon and escaped.
Even if a tenth of that is true, it's a remarkable feat.
If you'd like, Commander Cullen could give you all the details of that battle. He's in the ballroom.
Really? But
I shouldn't leave my post.
You'd only be gone a moment.
Philippe, the world is coming to an end. If we don't hear this story now, we'll never have a chance.
You're right. Thank you, Inquisitor. Let's go.
You must admit, the work done in Cumberland is a revolution.
I have yet to see the device, but the ambassador to the environment offer nothing else.
Well, that's useful.
Inquisitor Adar. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Is there something I can do for you, Your Grace?
Indeed you can. I believe tonight you and I are both concerned by the actions of a certain person. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Should two women really be dancing together?
My dear Inquisitor, we are the most important people in the room. It would be more scandalous if we did not dance. The Tal Vashoth are hardly known for political maneuvering. Just what interest do you have in our little war?
My advisors keep me informed.
One would hope the Inquisition's leaders had a proper understanding of politics.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
I think I can agree with that, yes.
Then you have lifted a terrible burden from my heart, Inquisitor. The world is filled with doubt and uncertainty. Fear rules more hearts than any empire. I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been everywhere in the palace. You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
There's no need for concern. I've come here to help, Orlais.
Helping Orlais has a variety of meanings depending on whom you ask. Kindness to some is cruelty to others. You cannot be a savior to them all. To some you must be a monster. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
An excellent question. I might ask the same of you, Your Grace.
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I have seen a few signs to that effect.
You have little time.
Então, tô vendo pra você.
The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming. May Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
Sei. Confio.
Maker's breath. You danced with the Grand Duchess and I didn't prepare you. Are you all right?
Bem.
It was only a dance, Josephine.
Nothing is only anything. Not here. Were you dancing with Duchess Florian?
More importantly, what happened in the servants' quarters? I heard there was fighting.
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
Morgan helped me get into the servants' quarters where I found a group of Venatori and Gaspard's dagger.
The man would truly do anything to become Emperor.
Then, the attack on the Empress will happen tonight.
Warning Celine is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed, and to flee would admit defeat. Then perhaps we should let her die.
Quer dizer.
You have an idea, Liliana?
What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celine alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celine. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Liliana? Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one.
Sim.
You're asking me to decide what's best for Orlais.
More than that, whoever controls the Imperial throne will affect all of Thedas.
You cannot stop Corypheus without a decision. You must support someone, or all is lost.
Then we should support Celine. She is the rightful ruler. Why would we say otherwise?
Because she led Orlais to this point. I say Gaspard, provided his sister is wrong about him.
I would suggest Briala. She could bring true peace, not only to the Empire, but also to its allies.
This is, however, your decision, Inquisitor, not ours.
Preciso de mais informações.
I can't decide this. Not yet.
You must. Even inaction is a decision, Inquisitor.
You could speak to Celine in the ballroom, but she won't act. Not without proof.
If Gaspard is guilty, he'll admit nothing. If he's innocent, he knows nothing. We need the truth.
What did Duchess Florian tell you?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the Royal Wing, that he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access. And in the meantime, get your soldiers into position.
At once. Be careful, Inquisitor.
Caramba. Então, galera, eu disse como daqui a pouco e vou fazer a live. Nossa, Então tá. Pra assistirem. Até a próxima.